Hi, welcome to the new topic, stored procedures. Important thing again. So when you talk about the stored procedure, you can consider it as functions in the SQL. You write a function, give some data to the function will calculate and give you back the result. And gives you back what? Result. So these are nothing but what the stored procedures are. In the SQL, we call it as stored procedure. Few things about the stored procedure you need to know. Few things about the stored procedure what you need to know, like they are pre-compiled and stored in the database. They are pre-compiled and stored in the database, providing the performance advantage over executing the single SQL statement. So they it's like a pre-compiled code. So pre-compiled code gets stored, right? And whenever you call, that code gets executed. So instead of executing the SQL statement again and again, right? As a stored procedure is a named group of SQL statement that can be executed multiple times. So you are going to create a stored procedure, and and you write some group of statement inside that. They are pre-compiled. Stored procedure can accept input parameters, perform calculation, conditional logic loops, interact with the database using the SQL statements. Also, they can return the result set by means of the output parameters. We are going to see this. What are the input parameters and the output parameters? Stored procedures can be used to implement the complex business logic, the way we have done with views. Consider that you have a database system where you are going to perform the transaction. First you are going to perform, you can say, withdraw operation. After that you are going to make entry in one of the DB. Instead of this to be written as a set of SQL statements, we can create one stored procedure. So first line related to the insert or update, after again insert or update, right? And inside the stored procedure, these things will execute properly. Even inside the stored procedure, you can add the data validation. If you want to write some conditional statements, you can write inside the stored procedure. Well, you can do outside also, as a set of SQLs also you can write, but combining all of them together will make it reusable. You don't need to write those SQLs, multiple SQLs again and again. You just need to reuse it. That's it. They enhance the security by allowing controlled access, same like views. Only 2 column access needs to be given, right? And out of 16 columns, only 2 columns need to be, access of the 2 columns need to be given. We can do that by means of a stored procedure. We will create a separate stored procedure which will only access those 2 columns. Now, stored procedures are called from either SQL client or from your programming language like Java or JavaScript, whatever. So this is a little bit about the stored procedure. So important thing is combining multiple SQL statement together, pre-compiled, right? Combining multiple statement together, pre-compiled, and that can be called from another SQL client or the Java or JavaScript, whatever programming language you have. So as usual, let's drop the database first. Okay, let's create new DB, create database ytdb. Okay, then use the DB, use ytdb. Database has been used. Now what we need to do, let's create some stored, let's first create some tables. Similarly, same tables we will create: customers table, orders table, customers table, orders table, right? Executed. And now for inserting data, see, I can insert the data by means of the writing insert statements. but this time I will create a simple stored procedure. Create, see, stored procedure, or simply you can say procedure insert customer. Insert what? Customer. And here you can say, in parameter. Can you see in customer ID, cust underscore or c underscore ID. Then again, and type we need to define is int. Again, in parameter, c underscore nm. See, in means what? Giving to the, c means what? Sorry, in means what? Giving to the stored procedure, inside the thing which is going inside the stored procedure. Varchar 50. Okay. Look at the statement. Create procedure, insert customer, in parameter, CID, type int. Again, one more in parameter, CNM, varchar 50. Enter. Look at the syntax. Begin. Now, insert into customers. And in parameters, c underscore id, here we can write, and c underscore nm we can write. Sorry, here insert into customers, column names, customer id, customer underscore name, and then values this c underscore id and c underscore nm, and after the begin you can say end statement. So here your stored procedure ends. Can you see that here your stored procedure ends? Here your stored procedure ends. Well, here also semicolon is missing to the after insert statement. Yeah, create procedure, insert customer, in c underscore id int, c underscore nm varchar 50, begin, and this thing. Now, instead of calling this insert statement again and again, how do you call? See, call and name of the stored procedure, insert customer, first id, and then we can say ABC. Can you see? Stored procedure. See here, stored procedure. So presently you have only one complex statement, but here you can have 100 complex statements. So that 100 complex statements would be getting precompiled. That statements would be getting what? Precompiled and stored in the DB. And whenever you call insert statement, precompiled code gets executed, and that's why it is little bit efficient than a normal 100 insert statements. That's why people go with the stored procedures, right? Similarly, we can create the stored procedure for an order. I will immediately write it here. Create procedure, insert order. Can you see int order id param, type is int, again in parameter, customer id int, and like this, and run it again. See here. Now deliberately I have written everything in the caps over here. Even here also in is caps and here is in smaller, just to tell you SQL keywords are not case sensitive. You can write it in any way, no problem, right? Similarly, you can call order. Instead of writing this much code, simply you need to call the order, call order and run it. Can you see that? So stored procedure for insert order, stored procedure for insert customer. And here we have seen the in parameter. The things which will be used, consumed inside stored procedure are called as in parameters. Let's take the example of out parameter now. Let's take the example of what? Out parameter. Okay. Now I will create for that one stored procedure I will create. So create procedure, here you can say create procedure, get customer by name, get customer name, get customer name, or get customer, let's say name, no problem. In parameter, you see in parameter c underscore id and type is int. Out parameter, can you see? So this parameter would be going out of the stored procedure. C underscore nm varchar 50 begin and end, begin and end, right? So you need to write your query inside this. Select customer underscore name, here you can say select customer underscore name, this is the column name, into this variable, remember that, into this variable from customers where clause customer id underscore id is equals to c underscore id. Can you see one variable, the cid is used inside the stored procedure, right? And the customer name, whatever result is there, that is taken out of the stored procedure. That is nothing but what? Out parameter. The data which is coming out of the stored procedure, that is the out parameter, right? Now how do you call this? If you try to call something like this directly, but there is an out parameter. What to do with the out parameter over here? First we need to declare declare c underscore nm varchar 50, right? And now call you can say get customer name. Now see, in parameter we need to pass 1 and out parameter also we need to pass over here like this, and then select c underscore nm if you want to get the result. Call this, select c underscore nm, declare, okay, this is correct, call is correct, get customer name, spelling is correct, get customer name varchar 50 c underscore nm just a minute. What's missing piece over here? What's missing piece over here? Okay, just try to add one thing. Just try to add one thing. I suppose just a minute. I suppose here we need to do something. Okay, it's created there. So I think this is might be, you have SQL check the manual corresponds MariaDB server version. I think this is because of this notebook. This is because of this notebook, I suppose. Let's try to do something like this. Let's try to execute this separately. Just a minute, team. I think it's related to the PLSQL. Yeah, this line is error. Another best way, wrap these things into the stored procedure. Another approach is wrap this thing into the stored procedure and call the stored procedure. You can say call this stored procedure. One stored procedure is calling another stored procedure. Can you see here? So I suppose earlier error is because of the notebook, in my opinion. The SQL client I am using, I'm talking about this. This will give you error again. This will give you error again. And this is because of the client SQL notebook we are using. Right? It says that multiple statements cannot be executed in this way. That's why it is giving you error. So what we have done, we created a separate procedure. So this declare statement is like a defining variables. This is like what? Defining variables in the SQL. And this should be done within the block only, like begin and end block. Right? Declare should be written inside begin and end block. And that's why this is working. Declare one variable called as cname. Then get customer name. This is our stored procedure. Stored procedure is this create procedure get customer name. Int cid type, sorry, in c underscore id type is int. Out c underscore nm type is varchar. Out variable. Can you see? Into cnm, into whatever result of this select statement is, that is written into c underscore nm. Right? Written inside c underscore nm. Now here if you see, simply you have called the stored procedure. Well, it is a good exercise that we got the error and we have resolved by means of this solution. And here you learn a new thing, calling stored procedure inside another stored procedure. Can you see? Calling stored procedure inside another stored procedure. And to work with this statement, in my opinion, we need to write PLSQL block. Let's not talk about that right now. But this is the solution you can see. Well, this is all about the stored procedures. Right? A lot of complex logic you can write inside these things. Declare C underscore nm varchar, defining the variable. So here I can write, here you defined the variable for accumulating the results, right, into cnm. So result, it's like a return statement. This is like what? Return statement. Well, that's all about the stored procedures. Stored procedures notebook. I hope you have understood the session. If you have understood, well and good, write it in the comment box. If you have not understood, revise it by means of video. Even you can get help on the Google. And if you get any questions and queries, write it in the comment box so I can help you. Thank you. See you in the next video.